A federal high court sitting in Abuja has dismissed the money laundering charges filed against the former Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Adoke, while delivering a ruling on a new case submission filed by the former AGF. Justice Inyang Ekwo held that the EFCC failed to establish a prima facie case against Mr. Adoke. Story in our subsequent bulletins. In the meantime, the Inspector General of Police, Yobe State, has withdrawn all police officers attached to the embattled former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. This is as the Nigeria Immigration Service has put the former governor on a watch list to prevent him from leaving the country. In a circular dated 18th of April 2024 and signed by the Assistant Comptroller of Immigration, D.S. Umar, for the Comptroller General, Kemi Nandab, the Immigration Service alerted the police and the Department of State Services to effect the former governor's arrest. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had earlier declared Yahaya Bello wanted in connection with an alleged case of money laundering. In other news, nearly a month after the traditional ruler of Ewu Kingdom, Clement Ikolo, submitted himself to security forces, army authorities have released him to the senator representing Delta Central, Ede Dafinone. Spokesman for the army, Major General Clement Onwachukwu, said the decision to hand the traditional ruler to the senator, who will act as his surety, is because they are yet to establish the monarch's culpability, even though no evidence exonerates him. The traditional ruler of Ewu had surrendered to the police after he and several others were declared wanted by the military in connection with the killing of 17 army personnel in Okwama on the 14th of March. The police handed him over to the military, and for nearly a month he has been in custody of the army. Now, the military authorities say that troops have taken out more terror kingpins in the north of the country. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, also warned that dire consequences await any group that would take up arms to agitate for secession. Sifon Isien reports.
The past 2 weeks have witnessed an upscale in military operations nationwide. In the north, troops have taken out more terror kingpins following air strikes on their enclaves.
Following reports and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance conducted, troops confirmed terrorists and their cohorts' presence hibernating along settlement called Twe, located near Tugan Magaji in Bayan Rua area of Maradun local government area of Zamfara State. This location in the northwest can be identified as similar to Sambisa Forest in the south, in the northeast. The targets were subsequently acquired and they were engaged.
There are indications troops will be sustaining the offensive while ramping up other operations.
Troops of Operation Hadirindaji neutralized 62 terrorists, arrested 49 persons, and rescued 36 kidnapped hostages during the period under review.
But there are concerns. Violent secessionist agitations like the invasion of the Yobe State Government Secretariat in Agodi will be met with dire consequences.
The one that happened in Ibadan, are very fortunate that we did not get to the scene as the first responders. Wearing uniform and carrying arms, you're a dead man.
But to better tackle the security issues in the country, the military insists a whole of society approach is the way to go. Sifon Isien, TVC News, Abuja.
And still talking security matters. Following the invasion of the Yobe State Secretariat by suspected Yoruba Nation agitators, the Yobe State government is asking residents of the state to immediately report any suspicious act or threatening activity in their vicinity to the appropriate authorities. The State's Commissioner for Lands, Housing, Survey and Urban Development, William Akinfumilayo, stated this while speaking with journalists at the sites of demolished buildings allegedly belonging to agitators of the Yoruba Nation in Ibadan. Senior reporter Olaide Oyewole has more.
After about 1 week since the invasion of the Oyo State Secretariat by suspected Yoruba Nation secessionists, the Oyo State government is not ready to take any chances of a repetition of such heinous acts. That is why the state government has stated that it obtained a court order to demolish the buildings being used by the agitators as a refuge. These buildings are located separately at Shagari area, Toye Oyeshola Street, Boluwaji, and also at Zone 4, Ironoluwa Community, Ododudu area, both in Oluyole local government area, Ibadan.
The demolition was carried out about 2 days ago, to be precise, and it is based on Oyo State High Court judgment to that effect. That was on the 16th April 2024, and this is a copy of the High Court order to the effect that the building should be demolished.
Does that imply that the government has taken over the property?
Definitely.
Members of the Landlords and Landladies Association in Ironoluwa community reviewed how they noticed strange movements in the area on the day of the incident.
What happened here is that day we are on our meeting. The day was Saturday, so we are gathered together there doing our meeting as landlord and landlady meeting there. So we just saw them in that uniform, army uniform. They covered their faces, everything, only their nose that we can see. So we don't know. All of us, we are surprised. We just stood up. Immediately, we want to use our phone to record them. So one of the lady there just raised the gun, raised it to us. All of us, we scatter away. So some minutes ago, we now see that there are plenty. Most they are on a bike. At least two on a bike, and they hold their gun that day. Some are inside the bus.
In a similar move, the state government also pulled down a facility being used by suspected illegal miners to process and package lithium out of the state. The facility, located at Idianyure, Oluyole local government area of the state, was demolished after also obtaining a court order for that purpose. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
Security experts have advocated concerted efforts from the public to tackle proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the country. This formed part of resolutions reached at the workshop organized by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, Southeast Zone in Enugu. Senior reporter Bamidele Ajayi has more.
The proliferation of small arms and light weapons has no doubt contributed to insecurity, bedeviling the growth of Nigeria. It has been estimated that about 640 million small arms and light weapons are in circulation worldwide. 100 million are estimated to be in Africa, 8 million in West Africa, and 70% of the 8 million illegal weapons are in Nigeria. This multi-sectoral stakeholders meeting for security operatives in the southeast region of Nigeria seeks to evolve strategy to contain the menace. Zonal coordinator of the agency identified factors responsible for proliferation of illicit arms for about 2 decades, threatening the national security.
These small arms and light weapons have become weapons of choice for criminals, terrorists, and bandits in Nigeria and beyond, posing a significant challenge to our country.
Contribution from representatives of security agents underscores the need to promote synergy, collaboration, and cooperation from the public as measures to promote illicit arms-free society.
Problem of illicit trafficking, misuse, and irresponsible transfer of small arms and light weapons and the ammunition remain severe and are intertwined with armed conflict.
We should have informants everywhere so that we will know even when new arms comes into the state, we will be aware of.
However, at the panel session, participants highlight need for effective border security, international collaboration, legislation, recovery, and destruction as measures to curb the menace.
You may be that criminal today, but tomorrow you may be the target of another group of criminals.
The gap there is citizen participation with the security agencies.
For somebody to take the pain, take the risk of giving you information, you have to protect that person.
The one-day workshop was organized by the Office of the National Security Advisor to the President. Identify insurgency, arms militia, porous border, secessionist agitation, and kidnappings were principal indices for illicit arms possession by non-state actors. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News, Enugu.
To Yobe State, where an accident occurred involving an articulated vehicle and a luxury bus along the Orogwe along Owerri-Onitsha Road, belonging to the Lord's Chosen Charismatic Renewal Church. Casualty figures are yet to be ascertained. Some eyewitnesses who spoke to TVC News said more of the casualties are staff of CocaCola Nigeria who were waiting to be picked up by their staff bus when the luxury bus ran over them. According to them, the luxury bus, which was on high speed, was trying to overtake the tipper before the driver lost control and veered off the road. The quick response of the Federal Road Safety Corps, the Nigeria Police, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps helped to save some casualties. They were also helping to clear the gridlock caused by the accident for free flow of vehicular movement. Still to come on TVC News at 1.